In the previous video, we brought information about the birth and youth of Hercules. This video is about his first 4 labors. What were the first 4 labors assigned to Hercules by King Eurystheus?
The first labor, to kill the Nemean lion. The first task was to slay the Nemean lion, a fierce beast terrorizing the countryside of Nemea. This beast is not an ordinary lion. The beast was a child of the powerful Typhon, the last generation of Gyas. This beast, which kidnaps young women in the area, used to prey on brave young men who came to rescue her. There, the young men who come near the cave see the young woman injured in the cave. But when they go inside to rescue her, the lion disguised as a young woman kills them. Many hunters try to kill this lion, but none of them succeeded. Hercules tries to kill the Nemean lion with his bow and arrows, sword, and spear. But that lion had a strong golden skin that could not be harmed by any weapon. Realizing this, Hercules approaches the cave where the lion was with his club. The cave was open from 2 sides. Hercules closed one opening with stones and entered the cave from the other side. Hercules trapped the beast in the cave and started fighting with the beast. Finally, he put his strong arms around the lion's neck and strangled it to death. But it was not easy to separate the lion's skin from its body, which was stronger than iron. Goddess Athena, who comes here to help the hero, tells Hercules that he can use the lion's own sharp claws to remove the skin. Hercules started using that skin as a protective cloak from then on. King Eurystheus was surprised and scared when Hercules, wearing the lion's skin as a protective cloak, and returned with the lion's carcass on his shoulder. Moreover, Hercules was forbidden to ever enter the city again, and King Eurystheus dealt with him through a messenger named Herald. Since then, Hercules had to display the results of his labors outside the city gates. He even had a large bronze jar made for himself to hide from Hercules in case of need. After this labor, King Eurystheus sought to avenge his cousin by issuing increasingly dangerous challenges. Legend has it that at the end of all this, the goddess Hera inscribed the Leo sign in the sky to immortalize the Nemean lion. The second labor, to kill the Lernaean Hydra. The Lernaean Hydra was a monster in Greek mythology. A serpent-like sea monster with 9 heads, this fierce beast strikes with fierce venom. This monster lived in the Lake Lerna in the region of Argolid in the Peloponnese. It was not an easy hunt, because one of the 9 heads was immortal. Therefore, if someone cuts off one head and destroys it, 2 more heads will appear from that place. Hercules did not go alone to Lake Lerna. He took with him his faithful nephew Iolaus, who shared many adventures with him. When they neared Lake Lerna, he had to cover his nose and mouth with a cloth to protect himself from the poisonous gases released by the Lernaean Hydra. Hercules teamed up with Iolaus and devised a plan to kill the Hydra. Since one of the beast's heads was immortal, they decided to set fire to its opening as soon as its head was cut off. Hercules cut off the head and Iolaus set fire to the opening before 2 heads grew back. As a result, the 2 quickly began to win the battle. Hera, who raised the monster specifically to kill Hercules, sent a giant crab to help the Hydra. However, Hercules crushed the crab with his strong foot. The last head of the Hydra was immortal, and Hercules was able to destroy it using a golden sword given to him by the goddess Athena. Hercules, who finally killed the Hydra, poisoned his arrows with the blood of the monster for later use. However, King Eurystheus did not include this in the 10 labors to be completed. The reason for this was to get Iolaus' help in killing the Hydra. Instead of 10 labors to be done, 2 more were added because of 2 rejected labors. The goddess Hera inscribed the Hydra sign in the sky to immortalize this monster. The third labor, to capture the Cyrenian hind. By now Eurystheus had understood that Hercules could not be defeated by sending him to battle with monsters. So this time he entrusted Hercules with a labor that he thought would surely fail. It was the capture of the Cyrenian hind. The Cyrenian hind is an animal with golden horns and bronze hooves, faster than an arrow. She is a sacred animal of Artemis, the goddess of the hunt and wild animals. So the third task of Hercules was to capture this wonderful creature alive. When Hercules caught the deer, Eurystheus hoped that the goddess Artemis would kill him. Hercules knew that the Cyrenian hind was a sacred animal. So he did not want to anger the goddess by killing or injuring the animal. He chased the deer for an entire year. After many failed attempts, he manages to catch the deer successfully. As soon as the deer is captured, Artemis comes to Hercules and is ready to punish him for torturing her deer. After that, Hercules revealed the truth to her very anxiously and apologized. Artemis then allowed Hercules to take her on the promise of freeing the deer. Hercules devised a plan to fulfill the promise. Hercules says that the king himself must come to get the deer. As soon as the king agreed and approached the deer, Hercules deliberately released the deer and let her approach his goddess. Hercules made the excuse that the deer ran away because the king was not fast enough. King Eurystheus was extremely angry because the goddess did not kill Hercules and lost the deer in front of him. The fourth labor, to capture the Erymanthian boar. As the fourth labor, Eurystheus ordered Hercules to bring back the Erymanthian boar alive. This animal was called the Erymanthian boar because it lived on a mountain called Erymanthus. Every day this boar comes out of his cave on the mountain and breaks into the countryside. The beast attacks the people and animals that live there, cutting them with its tusks and destroying everything in its path. Hercules goes to Chiron for advice on how to catch the boar. Chiron had told him to drive the boar into thick snow. Hercules, going to Mount Erymanthus, where the boar lived, chases the boar into a deep pile of snow after heavy snowfall. Hercules catches the boar in a net and then takes it to King Eurystheus. It is said that the king, who was extremely frightened at the sight of the wild boar, jumped into a large bronze jar buried and hid and ordered Hercules to divert the boar.